Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Samantha Perry, and it is a really nice day here in South Florida. We got some breezes, and the humidity might be a tad under what it's been over the last couple of weeks. Samantha, we got a fast main track firm turf course, and that Rainbow Six just continues to rise.
It does, and there were a couple of just misses yesterday that probably could have set it off, but still it paid very well.
Yeah, $800 or something.
Yeah.
You know, I had 5 out of 6. I missed that the Kathleen O'Connell. I thought it was going to pay way less. $875. That was a good thing if you had that horse.
Yep.
So today the estimated pool is $375,000, and I think that's certainly right in our wheelhouse. We can do that. So as I mentioned at the top, we got the fast main track firm turf course. We got the tropical turf a little later on. Got lots of good action today. Stakes race, but right now we got Brian's early pick 5 tickets. So let's take a look at it.
Yeah, and it's a pool that grows pretty healthily around here. He's spreading in this first race. Race 2, just 3 deep for him in the 2-year-old race. Race number 3, a little bit of a spread as well. That's a tough one too. Race 4, there's a single form. Highland Peak, first off the claim for Jose D'Angelo. And race 5, just 2 deep. Boldness and Holiday Fantasy.
I may have missed that 6-horse in race number 4.
I know. I didn't use that one either.
Yeah, I didn't use that one either. I'm looking back, and I said maybe I should have used that one. Getting to this first race, great way to start the day with a full field of 12 runners. And you can see how deep Brian went in his races. So let's take a look at, we'll start it off with your top pick in here, and that's the number 3 horse, and that is Caspian Sea.
Safi Joseph just continues to have a good week. He had the nightcap yesterday, just winner after winner, it seems like. This horse, perfect distance, is right back on the grass again. I don't think they're getting greedy with him. They put him in for 16 to break his maiden. He's back in for 16 for non-winners of 2.
Yeah, I went with the number 4 horse in here, Dundee. Another one from Safi Joseph Jr. Seems he has multiple horses in every race, at least over the last couple of days. And boy, you know, you follow the jockeys. I could see going with Caspian Sea. Edgar Zayas, his main guy. But Dundee, I thought, had a good chance with the stretch out. You look at its races back on the grass back in December and January, had that speed. And you know me, if you watch my analysis over the last couple of days, I'm a sucker for speed with horses stretching out.
You have to, especially in a race like this.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Just a wide open affair.
Yeah.
And the number 6 horse in here, Copper Light, I think has a big chance in here. And that's Nolan Ramsey, first coming out of the Robertino D'Orno barn. That comes out of a pretty good race in Indiana Grand. But there's some guessing going on here.
There is, yeah, but now in the barn from Robertino D'Odoro to Nolan Ramsey, it's kind of an interesting barn switch here. You know how I know I'm getting old? I don't have kids, but you know how I'm getting old?
Oh.
I used to gallop this horse's dam. Tap a
see,
light.
yeah.
See, and now that's how you know you're getting old whenever their offspring are running because
old. She's calling herself old. This is the first year. I'm going to write this down the day you said you were old.
Yeah, well, there you go. So I know the dam quite well from Remington back in like 2014.
Wow.
Yeah, back in the old days. But it's a nice
days.
family. The Winchell homebred. It's a nice family.
Okay, let's turn the
exactly.
table. Second race, 5 furlongs, and it's maidens 2. You know, this is a good race. Yeah, I love these races. We got 7 in the field, no scratches or jockey changes in here, and you know, they thought so much of Unchained Lane, but we got a ticket we're going to show first, and then we'll talk about this race in Unchained Lane. It's like, and Brian did use those 3 horses. Major, I think 1, 4, and 5 might be the way to go.
Yeah, I think so too. He's just adding an extra horse. That's the difference here. In race 4, instead of just singling the 6, he did add the number 1, which I feel like is a good place. $18 for him.
$18, and they're very good. You know, I just missed that one horse. I'll have to go back and look at it. Getting back to this race, you want to start it off with the video of Unchained Elaine?
Yeah, let's start out with Unchained Elaine because we know that they'll bet her here. This was in the Royal Palm Juvenile Fillies race. A horse named Bullet for DJ Stables and Mark Cassey just romped on this field, but Unchained Elaine did the hard work on the front end here. She ran very well on the dirt on her debut. She's back to the dirt here today. She's the only one in the field that has had a race under her belt. No, wait, she's had 2.
She's got 2, and the barn, that's what I was saying before we showed Brian's ticket. The barn was really high on this horse from the beginning, and I remember when Chris Landaros got off the horse, he said, boy, I wish I could stay and ride this horse. Right. And, you know, they tried the turf for the last time, back to the main track, and I think it's the right move today.
I
But
think so,
what
too.
about the 2 horse in here, Lee Touche?
So this is a filly from the Antonio Sano barn. We've got the young sire Authentic here,
Yeah.
and I wanted to show the work because I like this filly. I'm curious to see her in the paddock because she's kind of a bigger individual. She's on the outside here. Now she's working with a horse who ran yesterday.
Right.
Now this filly here, I think that she moves great, Ron. I like the way she travels. She's a little heavier. Now, I'd want to see if she's 100% fit, but I think she's very good looking. I'm excited to see how these Authentics are going to run. She kind of just drew away from her partner there. That was on May 17th. She's had a work since then. What concerns me is I don't see any gate works on the page, which you never know how they're going to break first-time starter, but I don't know. This filly looks like she could be nice.
Yeah, she could be nice. She definitely needed to use a few pounds in that first one there.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
But, hey, that's what the works are for,
Exactly.
and great. So we'll see how these Authentics run. By Moonstone actually wasn't named yet at that particular
Exactly,
time.
no.
So that's why it was a little confusing to you in here. The number 4 horse, Wiggle and Wine. This one from Jose Pinchin, and it's a half to a horse called Let Them Watch. You was 3 for 4 at 2. He won the Sandpiper, and I believe the Sharp Susan. So there is precocity in this. But we got a stat we wanted to show you on Jose Pinchin.
Yeah, and you and I talked about it yesterday, so now we could actually add to this. It's 1 for 30 because yesterday, 2-year-old first-time
Right.
starters, they bet this horse off the board. Look, there are statistics right in front of us. We can't see the works. We'll look at the horse in the paddock, but here, it's right in front of you. It's hard to really hammer a horse that is, the statistics are right here.
If you spend any time in South Florida and you're looking at 2-year-olds and you see Mike Yates and you see the sire Cajun Breeze, that's the 5 horse, you got to give it a second look. He does so well with these horses, especially first start, second start.
Yeah, he does. There's one work of this horse, and it was her first work, I presume, when she got into Gulfstream on April 13th. No reason to show it because there's been a lot of work since then, but she's very forward, and I like to see that. So we'll see. It'll be a good 2-year-old race.
Yeah, but I love them. I always love the 2-year-olds. We're going to go to race number 3 this afternoon. It's a claiming event for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races in life. And you can see we have 7 in the field and no scratches, jockey changes. And we both sort of landed on the number 6 horse in here. That is Awesome Wind, and this one from the Carlos David barn. And I just think off that performance last time out, albeit a maiden victory, sort of was a good spot to try winners for the first time.
Exactly. I think you hit the nail on the head there. He was cut back in distance, and then it was just no games from there. I think he'll set the pace. The Bug Rider was aboard him last time for that. That was his first victory here in the U.S. We'll get it back to back.
Get it back to back here, so you're getting a break in the weights, and then you went to the outside with the number 7 Grand Bay, Victor Barboza Jr., and that about says it all. He's doing so well.
Yes.
And this horse has been right there, third, so we'll see how this horse runs on the Tapeta today at 5 furlongs.
Yeah, and a 4-year-old facing some 3-year-olds, so that's an advantage.
And I just thought the number 5 you might want to look at. We haven't seen this horse in a while, but the drop in competition I think is going to help. Getting the Lasix is going to help. So we'll see how this horse comes off the bench and runs in race number 3. We'll go to race number 4. And we'll stay on the Tapeta, but we'll stretch it out to a mile and a 16th for these maiden claiming 3-year-olds and upward. We had a scratch of the number 8, No Plebeian, and we have a interesting race here. And you went with the number 7 horse in here, Decisive Pride from Ruben Sierra's barn, with the apprentice Melvis Gonzalez in the saddle. Thank you very much.
Exactly, yeah. Maybe he'll get 2 in a row because he's on our pick in the 3rd race. A 4-year-old facing some younger horses here. I like the fact that he has back to PETA form that plays well with this group. At the end of the day, he's 0 for 14, but maybe today's his day.
The number 1 horse, Lomachenko, is listed as a gelding today, and it's the drop from 35 to 12.5. First time in whose barn? Safi Joseph Jr.'s barn. This horse is probably going to take all the money just because of that here. Now comes that 6 horse that we both didn't use. We'll talk about it, but we don't have a tick in Highland Peak. And I went back and looked, and it's the same thing, a drop for Jose D'Angelo. And, if you go back to 2 starts, going around 2 turns, it gets a 70 buyer in that race. That would romp over this field.
It would. It really would. I just wonder, you look back at that field and wonder how good it was. I know the winner came back to win, actually at Keeneland, which was shocking. But I don't know. We'll see.
we'll see how that runs. So both of us, either we missed it or we're going to prove to be right.
There you go.
We
Yeah.
got, only two ways to go in that particular race. So I think 173, and like go back if you like what the 6 is doing. Is the morning line favorite? Of course, use it on your tickets. So then we're going to go to race number 5, and we're going to go to 1 mile on the main track, and these are claimers, 3-year-olds and upward. And we do have a video of Boldness and B.G. Lee we want to show you.
Yeah, we've got these two up top, so we'll watch how this played out last time. Boldness set a nice trip the whole way here. He's the gray. Now, I want you to watch the 2 here, B.G. Lee, because this horse was nowhere in the picture coming around the turn. You can see the size, how different in size he is compared to the field, but this horse really tried hard, Ron.
Yeah, he was closing strongly at the end. Boldness, that was the first off the claim by Victor Barboza Jr. and was successful. And now both of these horses, you take that next step up. We'll see how they run, and that's it. 1-3-3-1, I think, is the way to go in race number 5. So that is the first almost half of the card. We'll take a break, and then when we come back, we'll have my Rainbow 6 ticket and lots of other good stuff too. So we'll be right back.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Samantha. And as you're just joining us, a fast main track firm turf course. And in race number 6, it's going to start the Rainbow 6, but it also starts the Tropical Turf Pick 3. So first we'll show you my Rainbow 6 ticket, and then we'll show you Samantha's ticket of her Tropical Turf Pick 3. And you can see, right off the hub, I'm going right off the bat. I'm going with the Hub City, and I got lots of coverage all the way down because these races are pretty wide open. In race number 7, I went with Super Freaky Girl, trying to recreate that maiden win. Race number 8, the 8 is mine, High Limit Room. Race number 9 this afternoon, I went with the 10. This runs for you on top, but you can see all the other coverage I have. Our stake is the Game Face. It looks like Hall and Ice, but boy, Chi-Chi or Chai-Chai coming back to its regular stomping grounds, I think can run well in there. In the last race, my top pick is Gossiper, who's actually going to be my long shot today, until I saw that Brian made it 2-1 on the morning line. I don't know if this horse is going to be the favorite. I'm going to tell you that right now, but I got to switch right. I got another long shot I'm going to show you later on, but just to some other race. But so getting back to this race, I hear, besides, scratch the 1, scratch the 9. It's 7.5 furlongs maiden claimers. I got so excited I forgot that. But why did I get excited? It's Samantha's best bet, Brian's best bet, and my best bet.
Yeah, it is. And this is a great way to start off the Tropical Turf Pick 3 because you've got a single. Race 8, I do have the 1 on top, Inevitable Connection. And race 11, a very tricky finale. And this is going to be one of the legs in the Coast to Coast Pick 5. I've got the 8 on top, that is Stylistic. $18 play. This is such a player-friendly based wager. 15% low takeout, $3 minimum. Get involved.
We agree almost exactly in
Perfect.
that, so we'll see how that
like
goes out. Now, we have to start with Hub City in here,
Yes.
and we'll start it with we got a replay on this horse and a stat, so let's start with the replay.
Yeah, this is a filly that she's first time in the barn of Bobby DeBona. Now, this is at Fairgrounds, so the competition already is much, much different here. And this is going 5.5 furlongs. Now, she tries hard here, which I like to see. This is a way different type of turf course. She's the 4 here, and she's just kind of running on a bit. You see the margin between the rest of the finisher, the first place and the second, third, and fourth. It's not that much separates them, Ron.
And that turned out to be a pretty good race. That was in the Brendan Walsh barn, and that race produced a couple of next-out winners. And the horse Zoe's Prime came back at the fairgrounds and won and got like an 87 buyer.
Yes.
Here's the stat for Bobby DeBona.
Well, this one was interesting to me because
Wow.
I was all sold on this horse, but just to play devil's advocate, this is maiden claimers turf routes here at Gulfstream.
Yeah, not too good.
Not too good.
For a triple best bet here, we'll see how it plays out. So there are other horses in the race, and let's talk about the number 7, Karen Hill.
I don't know what to do with this horse. I'm not a huge fan. The rest of the horses in this race, it's kind of a crapshoot here because Karen Hill, first start in the barn of Mike Maker now. Going to try the grass for the first time. I think this horse is just kind of, at the end of the day, a little bit cheap. Maybe the grass helps.
I went with the number 3, Citrus Bell, who's going to get the blinkers off this afternoon. Horse wasn't running bad. First off the claim by Armando Del Cerdo, they said, let's put the blinkers on. Not a good idea if that's what happened, and taking them right off.
Yeah, and I think that Edgar Perez will fit the horse too.
Yeah. Let's go to race number 7 this afternoon. 5 1/2 furlongs. It's an allowance, and these are state-bred filly 3-year-olds. 7 will go to the field this afternoon, and we have Samantha's late pick 5 ticket here.
Yes, we do indeed. And you, like you mentioned, it's a tough sequence. You see my 3x3x3 like you did. Race 8, I do have the 1 on top. Race number 9. I've got the 10 on top here. That is, this runs for you. Race 10, there's the single Hall and Ice. She looks good. We've got a replay showing her from Oaklawn in the game face. And in race number 11, just too deep, the 8 on top for me. Dialythic, $27.
Yeah, that 6 horse. I went with, that's the horse to beat. New face on the scene.
Yes.
But boy, so impressive. As Samantha mentioned, we will be showing you a video of
Yes.
that race. So getting back to the 7th race in here. And, a super freaky girl was really super freaky last time
She
out.
was.
But, it's a maiden facing winners today.
Yeah. Do you like Rick James?
Yeah. Rick James? Yeah. Oh, yeah, Rick James. I like what's his name when he does the imitation of Rick James
Yes.
more. Whatever that comedian's
Chappelle,
name.
yep.
Yeah, Chappelle. That cracks me up, that whole thing. I'm not going to repeat it here because we kicked off the air, but
Yeah, it's funny. Anyway, super freaky girl. She aptly named because she won really, really impressively.
Now, you did go with the number 3 horse in here, and that's Charlotte's Road. I have this one. And, this horse has been favored in 3 of its last 4 races.
Yeah, now we're third start off of the Woodbine. We saw that second start off the Woodbine race was a winning move here. She's eligible to just come right back and do it. They're just putting her in now back on the Tapeta. She handles the Tapeta well. Should be no problem.
Yeah, and that's why we showed our tickets, why we went deep in these races, because there's so many different ways you can go. It's hard to break your maiden. You know this if you're any kind of handicapper, and come back and win again.
Is, yeah.
So even though they were impressive, but sometimes they're in that spot where they can do it. Maybe that's the case with Super Freaky Girl. I don't know. We'll see. Race number 8 this afternoon is going to go to the turf. And this one is a claimer for 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds and upward. We do have a scratch of the number 7, Kentaro, and a jockey change on the number 4. Make that right. Elijah Greenwich, I think is how you say his name. And he's doing pretty good. He's riding okay, that kid. Now, this is where Brian has his late pick 4 ticket. I'm interested to see if he went, same thing, went deep in those races.
Yep, it's tough here, and you see race 9. This is a very tricky one, and this is the race that could blow some things up here. He's got a lot of coverage there in the stakes race. He's using a couple. He does have Hall and Ice, Star of Saturn, and Chi-Chi, a $36 play here.
$36, and Brian, he's famous for his tickets costing $10, but it's not
It's
an
tricky
easy.
today,
It's tricky today. So getting back to this race here, I know you went with the inside horse, Inevitable Connection, and this is Steve Kosaris, with Edgar Zayas, and I have it. We got our exacta flip flop. So you make your case. I'll try and make a case for the 8.
Well, where have you been lately with Inevitable Connection? I haven't seen this horse in almost a year. I think the races that he was facing was way stronger than he gets in this field here today. If he comes off the layoff well, I don't think he has to be 100% his best in order to take on a field like this.
Now, what do you read into? I wanted to ask you this. You see he's got a couple of bullet works in it, but they're working this horse on the Tapeta. Now they're going to run this horse on the turf. Does that matter to you? Or
No, not really, because a lot of trainers will work the horses on the Tapeta versus if they're grass horses versus the dirt.
So we see that. So two good works, put it that way. Now you
Yes.
go to the outside, like I said, with High Limit Road and High Limit Room, excuse me. And it's first off the claim by Peter Walder. He's like 16% with that move. But this is a 6-time turf winner. So, this is what we call a hard-knocking campaigner.
Yeah.
We'll see how this horse runs today. The barn does very well first off the claim.
Big time. Yes, very well.
And then you have the 2 horse in there. And that is Magical Warrior. I went with the number 3 horse in here, Oxymora. And, I think 1-8-8-1 might be the way to go in race number 8. We'll flip the page and go to, race number 9 here at 7 furlongs. These are claimers, 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward. Scratch the 1 General Command. And you and I both like the number 10. This runs for you. And I think this is a wide open affair. And you look... We are exact in this race. Every time we say it's tough, you and I get the same exact super.
This is scary for me. I don't. That I'm agreeing so much with you. Woo. I think that this horse has a very good shot. First off, the claim for Jose D'Angelo. The horse ran well last time. The winner came back to win. Good post.
Yeah, I thought it was a logical way to go to, the number 5 horse in here, Town, I believe is the morning line favorite. And you could certainly make a good case for this horse, Town, Sappy Joseph Jr., of course. And it's first off the claim by him. He was claimed it back.
Exactly. That's a huge angle, a reclaim.
Yeah, reclaim. So we'll see how that works out. Then the number 9 horse in here, Infamous Nono. And this one, you look at this horse, and the barn winning their last start, I believe, is like 28%. So trying to come back. And, I remember the horse 2 starts back, Akamar. That was a good horse. Remember, won impressively.
Yeah, very well. So he's another hard knocker, too.
Yeah, so another wide open affair. Thus, I sound like a broken record, but that's why we went deep in our tickets there. Feature race. 6 furlongs, the game face. It's a stake for 3-year-old fillies. Nice clean slate, no scratches, no jockey changes in here. Hole and Ice, I think you got to go back and look at this. First time Sappy Joseph Jr. This horse loves to win.
Yeah, 3 wins out of 5 starts, and we'll show you the last one. This was at Oaklawn Park. Hard to trust the horses sometimes at Oaklawn Park, and this is the only place that this filly has run. Now, she's the 8 horse here. She puts away an even money favorite. That was Brad Cox's horse. This horse ran very, very well here. She just digs in gamely. She's not very big, which I like because I think she should handle this dirt course very well. That was a good track that day at Oaklawn. If you can win there, and it's tough in the wintertime on the dirt there, she should be able to handle a field like this.
And you know how good Sappy is first time in his barn, and he got to work into the sorts up at Palm Meadows just to get her acclimated to the local surroundings. So looks like all the things can go. That other horse that I thought I might use as a long shot, and I did, I'll show you a video a little later, is Marshmallow Queen. And this one 12-1 on the morning line. I don't think you're going to get 12-1. This horse was very impressive, reeling off 3 consecutive victories. Didn't fire last time at 7 furlongs. Maybe to cut back to 6 will help this horse.
Yeah, maybe you can, we say a lot of maybes, but they're fillies. At the end of the day, they could bounce. She ran 3 really nice races, like you said, impressively, visually, everything about them. And it just maybe came back to her a little bit.
Yeah, so now we'll see how it is. Now you have the number 7 horse in second, and that is Star of Saturn, who's going to break from the outside for Bobby DeBona.
This barn has done very well with this filly. She's won 2 in a row now. They've given her plenty of time between races. I don't see that as a bad thing here. I like how they tuned her up from the gate last time. The work before this race, just an easy 50 and change from the gate. Keep her fit, keep her happy. She's sneaky here.
The number 4, Chi-Chi, you look at its last race, they just, went up and tried to do the grade 2 Beaumont. That's a little tough. But this horse loves Gulfstream Park, has run very well during the championship meet, and I think coming back and facing this level of competition, you have to take a serious second look at this number 4 horse.
Yeah, you do. I wonder what kind of side her form is on, because it seems like she's tailed off, but has she tailed off, or has she just been facing strong competition?
And the trainer, Herman Walensky, what a little meet he's having. He's got like 3 for 10 or something close to that. I know it's been updated since we got the form here, but good. He's doing very well.
Right.
So, and a couple of seconds and a couple of thirds too. So the barn is going good. So a horse that you really got to take a look at. We'll go to the final race on the card. No greater way than to end the card with a big full turf field of 10, going a mile in the 16th, maiden claiming fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. And we'll start with your horse in here, Dialectic. I think you have a replay you want to show.
I do. This is the last time out for this filly here. She's faced 3-year-olds and up the last couple races, which I like. And her game plan has been the same on the grass. She just hits the front. A nice uncontested lead. But what I like about her run is, even though that she was defeated by just a length here, she didn't want to give it up. Now, she switched right into her left lead just late down the lane there, but she was so game. You can't teach that in a horse, and this is a barn that I think is getting back on the right track now.
Yeah, and I think this horse is going to end up the favorite in there. The 6, as I mentioned, was my long shot. If you read the formula, didn't think that the line maker, of course, Brian Nana, would catch it, because this horse had trouble in its 2 previous grass races here. When it was in the Bill Mott on. Kathleen O'Connell comes back, wins the 8th race yesterday, and blows up the board. That's what helped the Rainbow 6 pace so nice. And it's Kathleen O'Connor. She's she's a great trainer. I thought the trouble, her barn dropped to the 16 level. Everybody caught it, apparently, including me.
Yeah, that's good.
And then the number 7 horse in here, Miss Holly. Miss Holly, runs okay. This horse has been second up, albeit a tamper on the grass. Maybe runs well today.
I think so. This is a horse I didn't use in my tropical turf pick 3, but maybe if you were going to put a little more money into it. Miss Holly and Dude's Fooling Darling, they're coming out of the Bellwether race, who was in the finale yesterday for Safi.
Right.
And was
she ran great.
Yeah, she ran great and was bet completely off the board too. So I don't know if you want to spread a little bit. When I show you my tropical turf pick 3 ticket, that's a base ticket. Yeah. You can add on.
Yeah, I mean, we always say that about our tickets to the Rainbow 6. Everybody says, why always 40-20? I think you get the most bang out of your buck without going for $100. But if you want to, feel free. We love it if you go with $100, $200 on a ticket. And we want you to win for sure.
Right.
Well, that's the 11 races, but we're not done. We got the lightning round coming up here. And as always, very interesting. So let's get right to it, Samantha. What do we got on top here?
Well, we'll take a look back at Thursday's races with Heather Smolin. She gets her first win as a trainer.
Yeah, and she does great work. She was out there all the time working. She almost ran the race after this too. Had a little trouble trip. So congratulations to Heather Smolin. Of course, out there. And anytime you say, and this horse ran great, and the horse right after that ran great. So congratulations to her.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Hopefully, one of many. We see her there in the green shirt. She's been around the game for a very long time, and we'd like to see that.
You did a little video for the Coast to Coast this week.
I did, yeah. I'll post it, but it is 2 races from Gulfstream here today, the Game Face and the finale, the maiden on the grass. So get involved. This pays huge, 15% takeout, $1 minimum wager. Fun.
Yep, 3 races from Santa Anita, and we'll once again tell you about the great bet here that people really got to catch on to, and that's the Tropical Turf Pick 3.
Yeah, it paid big yesterday too, considering the parlay, and 15% takeout, $3 minimum. It's so good to get involved in. And hey, we got all of our best bets to kick off the sequence. Hub City for Bobby DeBona.
And talking about best bets,
there you go.
You pop right up right now. And as we said, we all got this one. Then Samantha, of course, shows us a stat that says not good. And that is Hub City, 8-5 on the morning line in race number 6. Your long shot today?
And yours is the same. Mine is in race 4. Things are getting hairy.
15-1. I'm liking that. And mine is going to be Marshmallow Queen. I did a little rework. And I did that horse because 12-1 in the morning line. I think that's a solid price. So Good luck. 25 minutes. We're going to turn it over to Pete Aiello. He's going to give you all the scratches, changes, and that's it. That's all we got until race number 1, right?
There you go.